I'm live. Am I live? Can you guys see me? What's up? 4 people. Yo, Michael, what's up, man? What's up? How's it going? How you doing? Frankie G, Naldo, I'm live. Yes. What's up, brother? I'm live. I'm here. 6 people. I'm doing good, man. Thanks. Always killing it, man. Always killing it. And you know why? Because I'm me. I'm the type of guy that fucking deals with shit and gets things done. That's what's up. Nikita, what's up? Nikita Von Galaxor. That's a really special name. Dragon of the West. Greetings from northern Macedonia. That's where Alexander the Great came from, right? Alexander of Macedon. Are you an Alexander the Great? Are you like that? Greetings, Shadow Book. What's up, guys? I'm gonna wait till 20 people are on, and then I'm gonna just start talking about today's topic. Okay. Yo, Tech Show, what's up? Yeah, Dragon of the West is from Macedonia. Alexander the Great was from there, from the same place, Macedonia, from the same island, Alexander of Macedon. Right? Maybe that's one of your ancestors, your great 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 grandfathers, right? You know, it's interesting. They say that Alexander the Great, obviously he was immortal, but he grew up without a father. At least he didn't know his father, and his mom told him that he was the son of Zeus. Yeah, she told him, "You're the son of Zeus," and he, believing that, obviously his mom told him, right? So he became completely fearless and reckless and brave like nobody else because he thought he was basically invincible because Alexander Zeus was his dad. You see, and that was one of the secrets of his success. You know, I mean, there are a lot of other things about Alexander the Great that are pretty awesome. You know who was his mentor? Aristotle. Okay, and this guy would travel wherever he would travel. He would send his library first, so he could study in his while he was conquering the fucking world. He was a philosopher, man, a really, really highly educated man. Yeah, but we're going to talk about the subconscious today and the subconscious energies. I'm telling you, that really ties in with a topic that we're going to talk about because think about it, man. Alexander of Macedon, Alexander the Great, was told by his mom that he was the son of Zeus. So he developed a subconscious belief that he was invincible. And what he did next was, or as a result of that, he dealt with the world in a fearless manner. And when people could feel his certainty, when people would feel his certainty, they were forced to believe that he could back that certainty up, you see. Now, that's something you can learn from. You don't have to convince the world of anything. You don't have to convince the world of anything. What you need to do is you need to convince your subconscious, okay? You need to win the battle in your own mind. And once you've done that, the energy will be transferred to the outside world and people can feel that. We're all fighting a battle 24/7 all of the time, constantly, okay? And even though nobody talks about it, or very few people talk about it, everybody's at conflict. You are too, every day. I know. Everybody is. And the way to win or when you win that conflict, meaning your own intention wins versus the intention of the other energies in your subconscious, you have become a master of self and you will have your life under control to a large extent. But this is where certainty comes from. Certainty comes from convincing yourself. And people can feel that 100%. So back to Alexander the Great. He had the belief from a very young age onwards that he is the son of Zeus. So who could fuck with him? Who could hurt him? And he had that belief so deeply ingrained in his subconscious that it became a self-fulfilling prophecy. He went out into the world and he conquered one of the largest empires that ever existed. Not quite as big as the Roman Empire, not quite as big as the British Empire, but it was pretty big. Okay, so that's what certainty does. That's what believing in yourself does. Okay, but you got to convince yourself first, your own subconscious. Okay, 16 people. I'm waiting for 20. I'm waiting for 20, and then we can start here. Greetings, Aurelius. Love the winning energy. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. I certainly hope so. Okay. Matrix After Dark. How's it going? Dragon of the West. How do we control or direct our subconscious to power our manifestation or desire? Yeah, that's the question. That's the big question, my friend. Yes. 21 people. Okay, we can start. I was waiting for 20 people to show up. Now 21 are here, so we can begin. Yeah. So the title today was something, I forgot the fucking title that I put onto this live stream, but it was something about control the subconscious energies or something like that, right? Control your subconscious energies. I think that was the title. Now, we got a friend here, a viewer, a follower of the Girl of the Serpent, who's from Macedon. Okay. Yeah, and I told him about, and he probably knew that already because he knows a lot of stories about Alexander the Great here. I told him that the secret to Alexander the Great's success was his mother. His mother taught him that he was the son of Zeus, and he developed a subconscious belief that he was invincible because he was the son of Zeus. How could it be any different, right? And that became a self-fulfilling prophecy, and he exuded a confidence that was just convincing. So what I was saying is basically you don't have to spend your time convincing the world of anything. Don't waste your time with that. It's as within, so without. So you have to win the battle within yourself. You have different energies, different intentions within yourself. So what you need to do is you need to conquer the self. You need to conquer your subconscious. And as you do that, you will become the belief, or you will exude the energy that you want to exude. It's all about certainty. You know, one of the most attractive traits in this world is confidence. Anyone will agree. Any woman will agree that a confident man, even if he's not, they call it swag these days. They call it swag. Oh, he's got swag. Just based on his swag, he could get laid, right? Shit like that. This ugly mother, he was so ugly, such an ugly motherfucker, but he had swag, and that swag made him so attractive. I'll tell you what swag is in layman terms, you know, in terms that most people would understand. It's basically self-belief, self-confidence, assured of himself. Okay, he's not in conflict with himself. And war is something that we experience here in this world. It's just what it is. Why? Because it's a world of duality. Okay, there are different. Everything is split into twos. Okay, everything is split into opposite polarities. Everything. And in the dynamic and the interaction between the two, there's life, there's interaction, there's plus minus, there's interaction, energy flowing, right? You need polar opposites in order to have energy flowing between the two, okay? The process of life would not be possible without opposites. So love your enemies in that sense, but still crush your fucking enemies, of course, too, okay? But your enemies are necessary for you to grow. If you don't have any enemies, how are you going to grow in this life? Everything would just be perfect. And you wouldn't move into any direction because there is no opposition, you see. So you have to have a polarity. And there is conflict. But the conflict should not exist within yourself. You should not be at war with yourself, you understand? Why is there such a strict chain of command in an army? It's because you can't afford to have miscommunication and to have different intentions within the army, because you're going to get fucked. The same applies to you. You need to take control over your subconscious. You need to win it over. You need to control it. There can be no other voice except yours commanding it. So My question is, do you control your subconscious? Are you in control over your subconscious? Are you? How do you know? Well, do things generally go the way you want? Are you able to overcome the obstacles in your life? You see, people are commenting here. I like the story about Alexander and the untamed horse. Handle the energies in your subconscious. Yes, handle the energies in your subconscious. Yeah. I gave you this image many times, man. I gave you this image many times where you're not a physical body. You're more like a vortex of energy. And the vortex of energy consists of different vectors, directed energy. Some of them are aligned with each other, some of them are opposing. Your goal is what you want in your life, the things that you want to create, the things that you want to manifest, the general direction that you consciously want to go into. That's one vector. Now, the others, though, the others are messing with it. The others are messing with it. Plus, don't forget that you live in a world in the invisible where there are spirits, and those spirits want your energy. You see, they want you. They want your energy. They want you, your energy. Certainty is the way to live your life. You have to live certainty. Why? Because the universe registers where you are based on your beingness, based on your energy, based on your emotional state. You will be recognized. Nothing else. It's not your good intentions. It's not your speech. It's none of that stuff. What is being recognized by the universe, by the universal mechanism of creation, is your energy. And your energy equals a request. Bam, that's another sentence for uh eternity, man. That's a sentence for eternity. Your energy equals your request to the universe. Man, somebody write that down and put it into into a meme. A nice little meme where, a clear night sky with lots of stars. Your energy equals your request to the universe. Aurelius Sopex. That's yeah, but it's so true, man. I'm telling you, just came up with that. Not scripted at all. So, what is the request that you're sending out, if I may ask? What are you telling the universe to give you? Or what are you sending out as and it will return back as a feedback loop? Which which is it that you're requesting? Now, if you're like most people, you're just sending out conflict constantly, okay? You're sending out the energy of conflict, internal conflict. If we ascend beyond this physical plane, do we also have to feed on energy? If you take the wrong path, yes, you will have to. If you take the wrong path, there's a certain path of incomplete ascension. Okay, it's basically it's a type of an illusion of power and growth. And yeah, if you take that path, you will end up on the path. You will end up in a destination where you're going to have to do that. Because I mean, not to give you too much information here, okay? Because it's not supposed to put out on live stream here. But um, most demons that you might know, they're just entities that have evolved through self-serving methods. They have evolved in a self-serving manner, and then they ended up in a realm where they can't develop anymore because it's like a dead end. And now they require energy sources from somewhere else. And a truly ascended being um, doesn't require outside energy sources. Okay, true ascension happens through uh, not self-serving means. Yeah, you got to do that in other ways. Okay, so there's another path that makes you really ascend, and there are no limits to that one. But only feeding the self and the ego eventually leads to a dead end. You see, so um, the demons are actually quite. Um, I mean, you can feel bad for these guys seriously because they're locked in. They can't progress wherever they want to progress. They're stuck in a realm where they can't progress anymore. Now we have the potential to go further, way beyond that if we don't do it the wrong way. Yeah. So yeah. Now let me speak. Um, okay, that was a distraction here. Okay, right. So the title was "Handle the Energies in Your Subconscious." Okay, so we're talking about certainty. Certainty is the key. Certainty is the key, and your request to the universe. You're never dealing with people. Get that out of your mind. You're always dealing with the universe. The people are just an expression of the universe and the energies that you put out into your surroundings. So the key is to live your life from first on the inside and then create things on the outside. Yeah, you develop awareness, you strengthen your awareness, you uh, improve your internal communication, and then everything will be under your control. Everything will be under your control. It's essentially like this. When you I tell you how you measure how good your internal communication is, okay? Which is the following. Do you generally have a good intuition about people? Do you know things before they happen? You know, do you know things before they happen? Do you get a sense, or you're on your way somewhere and you know kind of like what you're going to expect without having the information from somewhere else? Okay. Do you have information, or do you have access to information from certain places, or about certain things that you are not supposed to have? Basically, you get these things through intuition. Do you know things about people that you're not supposed to know? Well, these are your so-called instincts, okay? But these instincts are not just about predators and stuff like that. These instincts are tapped into another world, into a Wi-Fi, an energetic Wi-Fi, if you will. Okay. So the first step is you need to know how good your internal communication is. Now, if you have any of that, well, not all the time. It's not necessary to have that all the time, but at least you get it once in a while. Okay. So that means that you're still in touch with this inner voice. You could say it. And voice, I'm not talking about words. It's more like a feeling, a gut instinct. Okay. And that gut instinct, um, that gut instinct is what you need to learn to listen to. Okay. And then you can start a dialogue with your subconscious, because this gut instinct is energies around you. Okay, this gut instinct is connected to energies around you, and therefore well, the energies within and without, and therefore by changing it internally, by changing what's going on within you, by changing that, you can change what's going on outside of you. Okay, so why is certainty so important? Because certainty means that you are locked in with the frequency and the energy that you want, you see? And there's nothing, no being, no nothing, no other outside influence and force that you should allow to control your inner world. Now, that's easier said than done. I get it. And you will get off course. You will have moments or days where you're like thrown off course, depending on how much stress you got and how much is really messing with you. But at the end of the day, it's really about um, you controlling your energy. Yeah, it's really about you uh, locking in the energy that you want. And how do you do that? Well, you start a dialogue with your own self. Okay, a good way to start doing that is a great way is meditation. The next is self-hypnosis. Okay, do you use that? Do you use self-hypnosis? Do you? Well, what I'm saying is you must improve your internal communication, and you must listen to that voice, and you must control that. You must control that voice, the energy flow within yourself. And that gets you very, very, very far in life. Now, in addition to that, man, I'm telling you, it's not just that. I mean, that's part of the story what I just gave you, okay? But there's more to that, obviously, because right around us all the time, There are energies. There are energies and spirits. And these energies and spirits, they're talking to you and listening, man. Here's the thing. Let me tell you. Let me show you something. This is a meme that I posted a while ago. Maybe you can see it. One sec. All right, where is it? Can you see that? It says when you think you're thinking, you're actually listening. Okay. Once again, when you think you're thinking, you're actually listening. This is a woman that has a spirit, an energy, whistling to her, not whistling, whispering, whispering to her, which is essentially a metaphor for putting thoughts in her mind and putting thoughts in her head through energy manipulation. Um, so um, what that means is there's in addition to that, in addition to that internal conflict that is just there based on so many different energies, there are also outside forces that are making it even harder to take control over yourself because they're additional energy outside of you that are trying to mess with you. You see, so you need to take charge. You need to take control over this energy. Okay. Let me see. There's a comment here. Uh, okay, Vask Tech. I don't know what that is. Thank you, Frank. I had a situation. This is out of the blue. This out of the blue. I used your method to fix it. I also used Reiki to fix my phone. I almost had to pay $200 for. I was in shock. Fix it. Okay. I think you have loads of spirits around me since I had a near-death experience when I was in ICU. I had depression since. I had to pick up. Yeah, I don't teach people with mental issues. I don't do that. Um, I had picked up negative energy on my phone that was caused my phone to act up. Just brought this last year, so I knew something was off. So I tried to use Reiki as an experiment. It worked. Yeah, yeah. Okay. I didn't initiate you into Reiki though, right? Um, Somebody else might have done that. How do we get started with self-hypnosis? That's a good question. Well, by the way, guys, keep the questions coming. Okay, keep posting the questions. Keep posting the questions about whatever you want to ask. Ideally on topic. If not, I'm going to find a way to connect it back to the topic. Well, how do you start with self-hypnosis? First thing is you need to create a connection with your subconscious. How? Well, you turn your attention from outwards to inwards. Okay. You want to pay attention to your inner world, not to the outside world. That you can do through progressive muscle relaxation, and other methods. Certain breathing techniques that calm you down, things like that. Okay, so your awareness will then be on your inner world, or your inner images and your inner energy and inner reality, essentially. Okay, and then you use thought and repetitive thinking of affirmations. That's what it's called, or hypnotic suggestions. You know, and you repeat them over and over and over and over again. The subconscious learns through repetition. Okay, so you repeat them over and over and over and over and over again until your subconscious begins to agree with it, and the imagery and the feeling aligns with the suggestion that you're giving yourself. How many hours per day should you meditate to reach the deeper levels of meditation? Hmm. Well, I think a minimum of 20 minutes twice a day, 40 minutes per day minimum. Yeah, I would say. I would say so. Can we develop chakras by paying attention to them in a non-meditative state, like when we're walking around, for example? Can you develop the chakras? Look, I mean, the chakras are not developed by paying attention to them, okay? You develop the chakras by developing yourself on the levels of those chakras, okay? Each of those chakras is connected to a certain function of the mind, body, spirit complex. So when you work with that, you will also develop the chakra. Let's say you do physical exercise, you will develop your root chakra. Physical exercise in terms of like working out. Uh, do some art, you will develop your second chakra, or sexual activities, or like, I don't know, something that is connected to pleasure. That's going to develop the second chakra. Develop your willpower. It's going to develop the third. Do something in a selfless manner. Learn how everything's interconnected and how you can help other people. Selflessness. That's how you develop the heart. Learn how to verbalize your thoughts. This is how you develop the fifth one. Um, and the sixth is by training your intuition and paying attention, developing this internal communication that we were just talking about. Okay, that's probably it. Okay. Uh, is it possible to transmute anger, pent up energy, emotions during Reiki to charge the box? Well, think about it. You want to create something constructive. Anger is not a constructive emotion; it's a destructive emotion. So no, it's not something that's going to help uh, with constructing something. It's not something that brings things into being. It's something that destroys. Generally speaking. I mean, this is very generalized, but I wouldn't use any of those things for manifestation. Why would you do that? Why would you use negative energy for manifestation? It doesn't make sense. The same thing. People always send me like messages like "dark blessings, brother," as if that's a good thing. Like, what the fuck, man? Why do you send me dark blessings, yo? Why is that? Like, is this like, oh, we're now in the dark club, where because we're such bad people? Man, if some of these guys knew how ridiculous they actually look, this is pathetic, man. How old are you? 15? Got to be like a rebel, wearing inverted crosses around your neck. You got to, because I'm such a bad boy, right? It's ridiculous. The black t-shirt club, yeah. Ooh, I'm so dangerous. Yeah, motherfucker, you can't fight though. You got no hands, motherfucker. You're so dangerous. One motherfucking punch and you're knocked the fuck out. What's like what kind of a yeah, it's ridiculous. So yeah, pathetic. Hold on. Is it possible thank you. Are the entities and energies we invoke in pathworking real or not? Yeah, 100% they're real. Yeah. Can you talk more about ascension? I don't know, not really. How do we contact another person's subconscious? Just by focusing on them? Yes, just by focusing on them. But not just focusing on them, but you have to. That's a single pointed focus. Okay, you can't have other things run through your mind. That's how you build a psychic link to somebody else. Okay, got to strongly focus. Also, look, a lot of you guys are trying to do magic through without initiations. You need to be authentically initiated. What you don't realize is, see, initiation exists for a reason. This self-initiation stuff has been promoted, but it's a sales pitch essentially. Okay, when you're not initiated into something, you will not be able to use it. And I'll tell you why. Authentic stuff, authentic magic, just like the Kujikiri seminar that I'm going to teach very soon. That stuff is an authentic initiation. I'll tell you why. Okay, these forces. There's usually a person, an ascended master, or a monk, or somebody who works their entire life on attuning themselves to a specific energy, working with specific entities, working on their ascension, okay, and reaches very, very, very high levels. And then they receive something. They receive something from ascendant beings in some way or another, okay? And then they usually get a symbol or a symbol or yeah, usually it's transferred through symbols and other initiations, okay? Now, this is like a key, okay? The symbol, a clear symbol is like is like a key that unlocks access to a specific energy in the astral, okay? Now, if this is not authentically transferred to somebody else, the same thing would happen as if you would like change the key a little bit. You break a piece off of it, okay? What's going to happen if you break a piece off of a key? You're not going to access anything, or you're going to access a different energy, okay? It's not the energy of the original anymore, you see. So initiation means the pure energy and the pure access point, the pure key to that energy is being transferred authentically from one soul to another. It's like, moving on the torch, sparking the flame in another individual. That can only be done authentically. And usually these things are done one on one and in a specifically and codified way, because the ritual itself and how it is being transferred is itself also unlocking that energy. You see? But what's happened in the last couple of years is people are promoting self-initiation. Are you fucking kidding? How? How are you going to initiate yourself into something that you don't have? Now you might say, well, the person that got that energy first, they self-initiated. Well, listen, they spent probably 30, 40 years of their entire life doing nothing else in the mountains, far removed from civilization, doing nothing but spending their entire life attuning themselves to rituals, certain spirits, and so on and so forth, okay? This is not happening in fucking 21st century Western world. Are you fucking kidding me? Nowhere. Even these fucking monasteries or temples that you will have here and there, it's nothing compared to what happened in the past. Okay, we live in the Kali Yuga. The Kali Yuga is the age of spiritual darkness, where people sell you bullshit after bullshit after bullshit. They sell, and what they're actually doing is they're selling your soul to the fucking devil and demons. That's actually what's happening. But you guys don't realize it. That's what most of these guys are doing. Your food, if without protection, without actual authentic teaching, without actually learning from somebody who knows the ins and outs, you're fucked. And even with these orders out there, a lot of these orders have the goal of just feeding off of you and feeding your soul to some entities. That's what's going on, okay? I mean, how many of these people that get into witchcraft, get into the occult, and learn this stuff actually have a life that gets better and better and better? It's almost never, okay? They become vampirized and they think they're ascending. Oh yeah, I'm so enlightened, right? Are you fucking kidding me? It's so retarded, man, and it's so easy to see from the outside. You see somebody who actually knows, even an outsider that is just rationally thinking could see it easily, man. These people are just bullshitting themselves, okay? A lie. You're living a lie. That's it. There's a lie. So, so don't believe in the self-initiation bullshit. That's horseshit. Self-initiation, what the fuck? Are you going to teach yourself mathematics now? Are you going to do that? Are you going to do that, or are you going to rely? And I'm not talking about 1 + 1 + arithmetics. I'm talking about calculus. Are you going to teach yourself calculus now? Are you going to just come up with that? Yeah, I'm going to self-initiate myself into calculus. No, you rely on the work of thousands of years before you. Okay, this is ancient Greece. Before that, fucking Egypt. You rely on the work of geniuses thousands of years before you, and now it's condensed down. And even then, you need a teacher. Even then, you need somebody who's already gone through it and teaches you how to actually use that stuff, because it's fucking complicated. And you're telling me you can self-initiate yourself into the highest secrets of the universe, reading a fucking book without any help? I don't need that. I'm self-initiation. Are you're telling me you can deal with the most intelligent tricksters? Do you know how fucking intelligent these demons are? You're telling me you can deal and negotiate with the most intelligent tricksters in the fucking universe, okay? Millennia. They had millennia to develop their consciousness, but you are smart enough to deal with all of that, and you don't need any help because you're so great, right? This is so fucking retarded, man. It's almost like how old are you? Seriously. Sometimes I'm like, man, all of you occultists, how old are you? How naive can you be? How naive can you be, man? It's crazy. Hey Frank, hope all is well. You work on are you work on multiple chakras at once? Like if you enjoy martial arts or find pleasure in helping others. Yeah, of course. You're not only using one chakra at once either, you know? They're all there, always active. So, yeah. What kind of initiation do you recommend? What kind of initiation do I recommend? I mean, that's up to you. The only thing is that you should get initiated, okay? I recommend that you don't get into any of the hermetic orders. Most of the hermetic orders, pretty much all of them, they're feeding off of you. They corrupt your chakra system step by step by step as you go through the initiations in order to make you uh, food, okay? And then they call it the abyss. Your soul ends up in the abyss, and they call that the last stages before initiation, spiritual darkness. But it's actually where you end up. That's it. That's where you are. You're an empty shell, and you're being fed on. Your soul is lost. Basically, that's what it is. That's the abyss. Okay. Uh, Apologize for the grammar, and thank you. No problem. How? What kind of initiation do you recommend? How? Find an authentic teacher. Find a teacher that by their fruits you shall know them. By their fruits you shall know them. That's it. By their fruits you shall know them. So find an authentic teacher and look at their fruits. That's it. By their fruits you shall know them. Okay? That's it. What are the fruits? The fruits are, ask other students of those. Ask other students how they what they got from it. Okay? If somebody has one or two negative reviews, that's normal. And depending on how many students they have, yeah, some people are just weird and they will cause trouble and stuff like that, but it's about the ratio, okay? If somebody has 100 positive testimonials and one negative testimonial, ignore the bad testimonial and trust the 100 people that gave positive feedback. That's somebody you can learn from. Who would be an example of that? Not to toot my own horn, but that's me, okay? I almost exclusively get positive reviews and positive feedback and positive people. I don't pay for testimonials or anything like that, okay? People actually want to give me testimonials, and people actually like my teachings, okay? And they get value out of it. And I don't even get negative testimonials. No testimonials. You know, there's people say all kinds of shit about me, but nobody says that guy's fake. Okay, nobody says he's fake. Nobody says he's just lying. Nobody says he's a fraud, ever. Nobody said that ever about me. What they say is, oh, Frank is arrogant. Frank is too cocky. Frank is this and that and the other. No, they can all suck my dick. You know, and that's fine. You know, but as long as I'm not a fraud, everything else is fine, you know. But the thing is, that's what haters do, you know. Haters, they feel threatened by confidence. They feel threatened by somebody who's actually yeah, confident. So It's just what it is. It's part of the game, you know. I don't take it personal, and that's okay. So, and I'm not saying that you should learn from me. That's up to you. Okay, obviously you're here, but I don't know if you're on any of my programs or whatever. But just find somebody who has a reputation. That's it. Just need a reputation. Get a yeah. Find the reviews. Find testimonials. What about Rosicrucian initiation? The Rosicrucian network, you know, at higher levels is a part of the Illuminati network. Okay, so it's part of the. I mean, the lower levels they don't know about that most likely, or if so, they're not going to talk about that. But it's the same thing, man. It's not about. I mean, you can definitely learn some things, but you make your own. You make up your own mind. I'm not going to name names here. Scratch what I just said about the Rosicrucian order. I'm not going to talk about any specific order. I just won't. A bit hard or impossible here northern Macedonia, northern Macedonia. I think that's an excuse. Are you also referring to ceremonial magic? I'm explicitly referring to ceremonial magic. Ceremonial magic, Hermeticism, is a big scam to a large extent. It's really a big. It's definitely far from the most effective system. Okay, you need. I don't know for what you can get done with. Let's say something like voodoo or whatever, or voodoo. You can the effects it can have with one ritual, one person doing the ritual. In Voodoo, you need 20 people or so in a fucking hermetic ritual with the golden dawn, and you need fucking like fucking chandeliers and fucking bells and all kinds of fucking fuckery. Because it's not that strong, man. It's not that strong of. It's not that strong form of witchcraft. It's not. It's just not. It's just not. And it's the whole Kabbalah is basically stolen. Okay, so ceremonial magic. Yeah, I'm a ceremonial magician. I know about it. I'm initiated into a lot of the stuff, but it's not the highest or the most powerful form of witchcraft out there at all. You know, there's a lot of Buddhist stuff that is super powerful. You know, a lot of shamanic stuff that is way more powerful. A lot of root work that is more powerful. You know, can someone who isn't initiated continue on the path to ascension, or is it an irreplaceable part of the path to ascension? Well, like I said earlier, how are you going to initiate yourself into something that you don't have already? How? Can you tell me that? It's the equivalent of I'm just going to go into the gym and I'm now going to learn jujitsu by myself without a partner to spar with and without knowing the fucking rules. And I'm just going to read it from a book and I'm going to learn it here. This is like, or, I'm going to, it's just how? Look, I mean, I don't know how much time you got, okay? But I definitely don't have 1,000 years. If you have if you have 1,000 years to study that and 1,000 years to work on it, 1,000 years to practice, yeah, maybe, yeah. But in an initiation, authentic initiation, you're relying on hundred or I don't know, like many generations of people that have done that their entire lives, and that has been given down to you. So self-initiation is, I mean, come on. How powerful is your magic? Has all the stuff happened that you wished for? Why did you get into magic? You wanted to get into magic to control your life and to manifest this, to get this love spell done, to manifest money with it, blah, 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 blah. But you spent your time self-initiation reading book, self-initiating, reading book, most likely, reading books and watching YouTube videos where people just ramble about this and that, complete speculation, and nothing fucking happens, right? So I ask you, has your life changed, and have you gained the powers that you wanted? Has anything changed? Have you learned anything that has a concrete effect on your life through your self initiation? If so, and I'm not talking about some subjective stuff like, yeah, I feel more in tune with the world, and I think I'm more in control. I'm asking about real fucking results. Okay, something tangible, something you can touch, feel, taste. If not, why would you fucking waste your time with it? Why? I stand by it. Self initiation is bullshit, horseshit, horseshit. I cannot initiate myself into something. Okay, hold on. Who do you recommend to initiate me or others? I don't recommend other people. Why would I do that? I don't recommend other people. Uh, it's usually like this, my friend. It's if when the student's ready, the teacher is gonna appear. It's always like that. 100%. You don't need to be directed towards somebody. You don't need to be told about somebody. It's a universal vibration of frequency. As soon as you take on the right frequency, you will be in touch with that person. That's what you need to do, man. You don't need to Google things. Things will come to you. It's a it's a it's a vibrational universe. So match the vibration and you will receive. You will receive the initiation, meaning when the student's ready, the teacher is going to appear. So I don't know if you can force that. When you're ready, you're ready. And then the opportunity is going to appear. What is one of the most powerful currents then? And would you consider initiating anyone? People that you've already worked with, perhaps? Listen, I'm giving the people the things that I know are powerful. I've been doing seminars since last year. There's another seminar coming up this month. Not this month. I'm actually. Oh, that's another. The Kujikiri seminar was planned for the 17th and no, the 18th and 19th, basically Saturday and Sunday this week. It's going to be done in January. Okay, I'm going to send all of you guys who signed up for it. You're going to get an email with the new date for the seminar. Okay, I have not forgotten you. Don't worry. You're going to get the email later today. And my initiations are definitely authentic. I mean, you received one yourself, Naldo, and that's all I can say. I'm not vouching for anybody else. I'm not talking about anybody else. I'm talking about the initiations that I do. That's it. Okay. So, which spiritual practices do you recommend? There are a lot, man. I do a lot. But I mean, the Kujikiri is definitely from a Buddhist practice. Okay, it's a Buddhist practice. The spiritual practices that I do meditation. Okay, I do yoga. I do Tai Chi. I do um, Palomayombe. I do various. Let's see, various. You know, hold on one second. I gotta answer this email. Uh, So my spiritual practice, yeah, like I said, meditation, yoga, Tai Chi, uh, Palo, yeah, ceremonial magic, elemental magic, you know, shamanism, various forms of shamanism, wolf shamanism. Wolf shamanism is essentially, well, it has elements of tantric Buddhism. It has elements of voodoo in it as well. It's that's not practiced very often. It's not even that important. Now, I do kujikiri, which is a form of shugendo, essentially. Yeah, all kinds of different things. I mean, there are so many things. I don't even have a complete list here. Okay, like I probably forgot a lot, but you know, um, I mean, the form that I practice least probably is crystal magic. I don't know why, but I never really got into crystal magic. I really don't. I don't know why. It just doesn't resonate with me that much. Crystals are not boring, and I'm not knocking crystal magic at all, but it's just not something that I do for some reason. I don't know. I do talismans, I do amulets, I can do that, but crystals, I don't know. Doesn't sit right with me. So maybe there's a path working in the future. Crystal magic, right? Who knows? See, guys, the whole field of the occult, the whole field of magic, even if you spend lifetimes, and I definitely have spent more than one lifetime exploring this, and some of you might have too. Okay, one or two or three, four lifetimes are not enough to explore the whole field of this craft, the sacred arts. There's a lot to learn, a lot to do. Okay? So don't don't use time. That Angelina Jolie Buddhist tattoos she got are supposed to be protection of those Buddhist tattoos they get with the needle and blessed by the monk actually magical. I don't know anything about that. Is it even worth studying the Kabbalah then? You should study everything. Yes, you should study everything. It's not that it's completely worthless. I never said I don't say it's completely worthless, but it's not. I mean, with the tree of life and the Qliphoth, you have somewhat of a map of the invisible worlds, which is not really accurate, but still, I mean, you have either the direct way up, or you got like this zigzag that you can move through. But there are superior ways of doing that for sure. But you should know about it. Why not? You got to start somewhere. And knowledge is always better than ignorance. So why not study it? My life has changed thanks to Frank's teachings, and it's only going to get better as I progress. There you go. Mine came naturally, and yes, it 100. You're absolutely right. Okay, that's good. Rodi Shima, how's it going? Uh, you're absolutely right. Things come when you need them and when you're ready for them. 100 degree. Yes. What about the dictionary of witchcraft? It still hasn't arrived on my Yahoo mail. Well, then there's a disconnection. I used get response, and get response sent it out. So if it didn't, I don't know. Maybe get response, or maybe my email there is not uh, verified in your account, if you know what I mean. But I sent it out. I definitely sent it out. Do you do transcendental meditation? Yes, I do. Uh, what do you think about Franz Barton and his work? I did a podcast on Franz Barton a while ago. Franz Barton is great stuff, but I mean, you can get very far learning the techniques. I mean, I don't know if you ever worked through any of his books. Um, The exercises specifically are very good, but the problem is there's no context. He just gives you exercises and he doesn't explain why you're doing that. Plus, it's the requirements for the exercises are very, very high, meaning you can only move on to the next exercise if you get to a very high level with the first one or with the one before that, which means that it takes a lot of time to get anywhere in this system. It's not a bad system. It's not. And usually, the way you work with Barden's magic is essentially you start working with it for maybe 6, 7 months or something like that, and then you for some reason life pulls you away, and you need that to integrate all of the stuff that you learned, and then for some reason you feel pulled back to the work, and then you continue. That's basically how it works. Because we all go through cycles, you know. Sometimes we're in a cycle where that's conducive to our development. Sometimes it's not, and we just got to listen to our voice, right? But Bardonian magic but see, he essentially says similar things in his teachings that I tell you all the time, which is basically you need to have the basics, man. You need to have the basics, and you need to mind control. You need to be very good at visualization. You need to you need to be in control over your energy and all this stuff. So, um, yeah, you can get pretty far with Barden stuff, absolutely, but it takes time. It takes time and work. But why not? Barden is a legend, man. Barden was known for a lot of crazy stuff that he was able to do. You know, like actually creating lightnings through his electricity, through his own electricity, being able to create lightning strikes. Yeah. Um, I'm saving my money so I can learn from Frank because I don't trust anyone. So many fakes. People adding me on Instagram because they do spell work and they themselves look like shit and don't even drink water. Oh. Uh, okay. Let's see. Isn't summoning an entity, be it the holy guardian angel or other path working with other entities, a form of self-initiation? Okay, well, first of all, there's nothing holy about the holy guardian angel. Number two, uh, you're supposed to do the Bremelin initiation. Do you actually have time to do the Bremelin operation like it is described in that book? And that after years of practice that is extremely rigid, extremely disciplined, you know. Once again, you're throwing this at me in order to discard or to discredit my argument, which is horseshit. I told you that self-initiation is an option after years and years and years of dedication and your whole life being dedicated to the craft, and you don't spend time in society, and you're somewhere in the mountains in a cave or something like that, and you don't do anything else, which is completely impossible in the 21st century Western world. Nobody does that. So you're talking about the Bremelin operation, which leads to the calling of your holy guardian angel, which is at least 6 months in complete isolation with fasts, not speaking a single fucking word, and all kinds of other things. Okay. Now, if you have 20 years of occult practice that is completely focused and super disciplined, and you don't do anything else, okay, except magic, your rituals, your meditations, and your cleansings, then yeah, 6 months in complete isolation and stuff like that is going to give you some initiation, absolutely. But you can also put somebody in solitary you could also put somebody in solitary confinement, okay, and they're gonna have some visions and and self-initiation, bro. That's also gonna happen there. Okay, they're gonna contemplate life and find something out about themselves, right? So, um, how important would you say astral travel is for your spiritual development? That's where you when you learn to travel out of body, that's when it starts. That's when the real work begins. I think I'll be able to get on Kujikiri then. Yeah. Okay. Erica Wedding, what's up, BA? Love you, Frank. So awesome to catch you live. How you doing, man? I actually wanted to text you on Facebook after I heard what happened there. But obviously I couldn't text you. It's pretty fucked up what happened to you, man. If there's anything I can do, please let me know. This shouldn't have happened, and I don't think that's your fault at all. At all. They're really doing a number on you. Just kind of fucked up. But all the best. If there's anything I can do for you, let me know. Okay. I'm not doing any self initiation without proper guidance or even being ready. Those spirits will tear you a new one. Trust me, before Frank, my body and life was fucked up because I thought I was going to work with spirits, knew nothing about the occult. Okay. Actually, I'm using the Holy Guardian Angel as an example, but I mean about ancestral ghost or fae in the local area. Okay. Okay, my personal opinion is this, okay? My personal opinion is this. There is no entity in this world without self-interest in some way or another, okay? Any entity has a vested interest in itself for the most part, okay? My personal experience with most entities is that they have their own agenda, okay? And they will shamelessly use you, lie to you, abuse you if they can, okay? And in fact, that's part of the deal, to be honest, okay? Now, if you're dealing with a spirit, a demon, okay? You're gonna bargain, and you got to be very careful about what you put into the bargain, okay? Let's say whatever I want. Example, you bargain for money, okay? I want a truck full of money. And this is just an example. It's not that I'm saying that I actually had that experience, okay? But you say you want a truck full of money. Let's say the demon agrees or the spirit agrees. And what you get is a truck full of pesos, okay? Or whatever. Let's say a currency that is worth very, very little. Okay, well, I give you money or monopoly money or something like that, okay? So the bottom line is this. You bargain with an entity that is way more intelligent for the most part. It's very smart. It knows you. It sees your energy. Spirits see energy for the most part. They don't see your physical body, and they deal with. Well, they're very good at exploiting your weaknesses and your fears. 100%. You see. So the point is, if you're dealing with an entity, you got to do that in a way where what's the best way to put it? Know what you're dealing with. I have a problem with these anthropomorphic projections that people make. It's the same with ETs, for instance, okay? Or in religion or in a religious mindset, that's done as well. It's basically the image that God is a father figure. Okay, that doesn't work. It's obviously not real. That's an infantile projection, and we have a need as humans. Obviously, our psyche has a need to put a human face onto everything. Okay, but it's not that they have human egos at all. Okay, there is a spiritual process at play. Okay, and that spiritual process leads to. I mean, it's a Darwinian process as well. It is a Darwinian process for sure. Okay, and those that are not ready will be eaten. 100%. Okay. And I'm telling you that it is naive to believe that it is different. You know, you don't even need to think about demons to understand that. It's naive to think that a wolf is not going to eat you. It's naive to think that a bear is not going to eat you. It's even naive to think that your pet dog is not going to eat you once if your body dies. That's going to happen. Okay, that's going to happen. So what I'm saying is, stop being naive and understand what you're dealing with, and take responsibility. Stop giving away your responsibility to entities that couldn't care less. It's like a tsunami. A tsunami does what it does. It's a force of nature. So I have had my best experiences. I navigate the spiritual world best if I take responsibility myself. I don't rely. I have allies, spiritual allies, of course, but I know that there's a give and take, and I know why they are with me and protect me. Okay, that's it. That's it. Plus, if everything is a reflection of each other, let's say above reflects below and below reflects above, or the physical world has beautiful things to it. Yes, absolutely. But at the same time, there are a lot of dangers here. So the spirit world must reflect that as well. You know? So it is just naive to think that everything works in your favor over there. So be cautious. That's what I'm telling you. How do you recommend feeding your spirits, ancestors, pact, angels, etc.? I'm not going to talk about that. Frank, who is that German rapper that you listen to, you post in your videos? There are many that I listen to. Which one? Which video? There's this app called Shazam. When you use that, you will be shown what music that is. Can we hide our energy behind a shield, energetically speaking? Can you hide your energy behind a shield, energetically speaking? Sure. Yeah. Can create a protective barrier. You can, uh, but why not change your energy to match what effect you want to have in the outside world? Why would you want to hide your energy? Are you saying from a spirit, hiding your energy from a spirit? Listen, a lot of people have problems with hauntings. Actually, I just did a lecture on that stuff where it's basically this. Yeah, I did a Zoom lecture on that topic. Okay, and somebody talked about being haunted. Here's my approach to that. Okay, I had a lot of experiences that were very terrifying when it comes to spirits, hauntings, tormented, being fed on, being vampirized by spirits and stuff like that. Okay, and I tell you what helped. I tell you what helped. Now, of course, the little things that you do, like cleansing, stuff like that, helps. But here's the thing: you have to develop a reputation spiritually. You see what I mean? There's The Art of War is a book that's been written for warfare thousands of years ago, right? For the battlefield. But reading it, I came to I'm really convinced that it was written in a sense where it's a manual for how to think about the world and how to structure your mind and how to become more powerful spiritually as well. Where it's basically like this: all of the teachings in that book can be applied if you think about a little about that stuff in an abstract way. You will be able to apply them to your spirit and to your mind and how you deal with the universe itself. Okay, now it is a fact that that it is a vibrational universe, and the vibration of your thoughts, the vibration of your convictions, the vibration of your beingness will bring about certain effects in the spiritual world. Okay, and everybody can feel that. Okay, let's say you have somebody in front of you. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'4". I'm 230 pounds. Okay, pretty big guy. But I tell you what, when I spar with somebody who's a small guy, okay, a small guy, even a woman, and are just fearless. That puts me off, you know? It's like, motherfucker, why are you not afraid of me? I'm so much bigger than you. I'm so much stronger than you. And I become cautious. Okay. And what that is, it's a mind game. Okay. But not just psychologically, the energy of the person. The energy of the person uh repels you almost. Okay. It's like they become the predator, psychologically and psychically speaking. Once that mindset was taken on by me when it comes to my spiritual work, and not just not in terms of vampirism of people, but basically entering the spiritual realm or communicating to the spiritual realm. Whoever's out there, whoever is listening, motherfucker, I promise you, if you mess with me, I will make an example out of you, and I will dissect you. I will find whatever I know, whatever teachings there are to torment you. Okay. And it is a fact that you can torment a demon. I made a video about that years ago. I called it making a demon weep. And it is a fact that you can do that. Okay. If you go deep into occult teachings, you will find ways to torture a spirit, torture a demon if they misbehave. Now, of course, you're not making friends there, but this is not a nice. I mean, if you're dealing with spirits or demons, what are you expecting? Okay, this is not kumbaya. All right. So the bottom line is this: ever since then, I made it a practice that if a spirit messes with me, I'm gonna make sure that the spirit regrets it. Okay. Now you tell me, if you are known as an individual, as you are know, when you become known as a person that no matter what happens, even if the person wins, you're going to seriously hurt them. What are the chances of you getting attacked? Very little, right? Now, why not apply that to the spirit world and how you deal with entities? There's no the only reason why they haunt you is because they can get an emotional response of fear out of you. So if a spirit haunts you, it believes that it can scare you. Yeah. But what if you had the mindset that I just gave you? You would become what the spirit should be afraid of, right? Listen, I promise you, I have so many people that hate me, so many occultists that hate me, so many magicians. I did a video again. I was calling out people to destroy me. Here's the official call: destroy Frank White, whatever. Who's got a problem? That's after I got emails and messages of people trying to fuck with me. Blah blah. We're gonna put a spell on you. We're gonna curse you. I was like, yeah, give it your best. Okay? Give it your best. Nothing happens. Okay. And I promise you, a lot of people are actually kind of afraid of me. They're a little bit afraid of me, just a little bit. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. You see, I mean, when the person is misaligned, okay, we have multiple dynamics in our lives. We have multiple dynamics of self. Okay, we have a self that is part of a greater whole. We have a self that is more individualistic. We have a self that is about, you know, basically we have multiple levels to the self. Okay, and it gradually increases or expands to encompass and include everything. Okay, so we have a very very tiny self, which is like the ego and the body, and then it expands further and further and further. Now, when you can integrate all of those, you become very powerful. You become very powerful, and you become very terrifying and frightening to a lot of people. You see, and how do you do that? Well, it you can do that by following an ethical code that integrates all of those. Okay, and when you live by a code, which has a lot to do with ethics, that's why I'm also very big on ethics. Okay, I'm not a moral relativist. I am not. Okay, I do believe that there are certain things that are right, and I know that there are certain things that are wrong. It's just what it is. There is a universal law where certain things are right to do morally and certain things are wrong. I have an ethical code that I won't break for anything. Not for the devil, not for God, not for a hoe, not for anything. And that makes you very powerful because your higher self and your lower self are integrated, and you got to integrate that by your actions. So that's how you stay safe, that's how you stay sane, and that's how you stay strong. That's what gives you the spine. How are you going to walk through the world with a spine? What is a spine? What is that? Spine is, listen, it's more than just like walking around with your chest out. It's the way you move through the world. It's your energy that you put out into the universe, in the invisible. Who are you? Who are you? Have you broken your honor? Have you broken your there's honor is not something archaic. It's the way you live your life. It's, do you stick to your ethics? Do you have an ethical code? Do you have honor? If you have that, you become very powerful spiritually, okay? And people can feel that. People can feel that, but a lot of people don't have that. That's why they're afraid of it. And I tell you what, if you right now feel aggression, if you feel negative responses within yourself, as I'm saying that, I have bad news for you. You probably don't have any. Yeah, and that's what you should work on. That's the first thing that I would recommend. And if something within you is like, yes, this guy's right. Well, that's because I am. Okay, so that's on you. I'm just telling you the way things are. Okay, so don't shoot the messenger. So my recommendation, guys, you need an ethical code, and that ethical code needs to be in alignment with universal law. You need honor. Oh, do you have honor? So few people have honor these days, and they wonder why the world's going to hell. You need honor. The world's going down the fucking drain because people don't have honor anymore. Okay? And everything builds upon that. Okay? The foundation is your honor and your ethics. That's it. And when you do that, when you follow that, you're good. You're going to be good always. But when you break that, when you break your ethics and when you break your honor, you're going to self-destruct. You don't even need to wait for the world to destroy you. You're going to self-destruct. I promise you. That's what a lot of people don't understand. You don't need the world to destroy you. You will self-destruct because you have broken your ethical code. How do you recommend feeding your spirits, ancestors? No, I'm not going to talk about that. Okay. Why are ETs attracted to people who do real magic? Like, what's the purpose? Because ETs use magic, or rather, ETs interact with us at a level beyond the speed of light. And look, a lot of the entities that are being called are actually ETs. The ET phenomenon has a lot of connections to ufology. In fact, the biggest ufologists are occultists, for sure. Okay, who's the fucking the guy who's responsible for ufology or makes statements about ufology for the Vatican? Forgot his name, but that guy is also the demonologist of that club. Yeah. Um, what are your thoughts on the Book of Five Rings? I love it. It's one of my favorites. Not scared of spirits, just sometimes get caught off guard when I see one in the corner of my eyes. It's kind of like when someone's behind you and you didn't know. Okay. I think the reason some people have an issue with you because they are scared of their own evolution. This is the first time in centuries we've been finally given power versus being powerless. Sometimes people like trigger our own insecurities. Uh, yeah, I guess so. Whatever. Um, Look, I'm not an easy guy to I guess, I'm very opinionated. I get it, I get it. I'm not very diplomatic either. Even though I'm a Libra. My astrological sign is a Libra. My October is on October 8th. My birthday is on October 8th. So I'm a Libra, and they say Libras are very diplomatic and stuff like that. But I'm very opinionated, and I'm not very diplomatic, I guess. But only in certain fields. If you were to talk to me about cooking, okay, I'm just gonna listen. I was like, wow, okay, nice. I'm not gonna talk about things that I don't know about. You see what I mean? The thing is also, I don't talk about things that I don't know and don't understand. You see, confidence comes from competence. I speak confidently about the stuff that I understand. That's it. And with other stuff that I don't understand, I shut the fuck up. I don't talk about it. You will never hear me talk about snowboarding. You will never hear me talk about sewing, okay, or knitting. You will never hear me talk about push-up bras, except on how to open them, maybe. But outside of that, I just talk about the things that I know, and I recommend everybody does that. Okay, sometimes you need to shut the fuck up. Okay. People don't know how to love themselves, never mind others. How do you develop an ethical code? Asks Adrian. How do you develop an ethical code? Well, that's actually very simple. Um, Basically, it works like this, okay? You exist on multiple different levels. Let me give you an example, okay? Let's say it basically works like this. Is the decision that you're making leading to more positives than negatives? Okay. So are you doing more good than harm with your decision? Then that's a good decision. A bad decision does more harm than it does good. It's very simple. And based on that, you live your life and you don't break it for nobody. Okay. Even if it costs you money, even if it costs you friends, even if it costs you hate, you don't you don't bend on that. You don't break. You follow your ethical code. Let me give you an example for honor. What is honor? I will not lie to people in order to make money off of them. Okay. All of you know, all of you been there when I threw people out of my programs or even denied them entry to my program. I don't give a fuck. If I don't like people, I don't teach them. I don't, because I know the tail end of that is going to be bad for me and bad for everybody else. That's one. You don't break your ethical code for money. My friends, for instance, okay, I have an ethical code with friends that I have, for instance, where basically among heterosexual men, okay, heterosexual men, the most common reason for beef, one of the most common reasons for beef is a woman, okay? So, in the way that I deal with my friends, my allies, when it comes to women, is who got it first came first, okay? That means basically it's basically the one that talked to her first, it's his, okay? The other guy doesn't chime in. That's what a lot of chumps out there do. They fight over girls, you know, just which is a reality. You don't do that, okay? So it's I saw her, she's mine, okay? Nobody else is going to interfere. In fact, what they're going to do is they're going to speak very highly of me and are just going to help me get that job done, okay? Um I won't lie. I will not lie. I will not lie. At least not willingly. If I forget something and I say something, okay, all right, then it's an issue of memory, but it's not an intentional misleading because if I lie, it means that I'm afraid of something. And I only have to be afraid of something if I don't want to be exposed for something. So it starts with this, like, don't do shit that you can't be exposed for. That means you don't have to lie. That means you can stick to your code. Okay? So you have a solid foundation. So just look, I mean, we all know what ethics are. It's basically, I think Jordan Peterson explains it very well. Jordan Peterson, you probably all know this guy, but he talks about this these qualities that are admired universally in every single culture. And in the short term, or in the first instance, these things might even get you into trouble in terms of repercussions. But long term, they always win. And this is basically what he talks about. Okay, this is like my interpretation of that. You build a solid foundation and you live your life on that foundation. And that's it. And that's how you develop a spine. That's how you develop a spine. That's how you can walk through the world with your chest puffed out and not have people break your frame. Okay. And this has more to do with spirituality than you think. That's actually a spiritual way of living. I promise you. It's all about your frame. Even when it comes to a magical attack. I've been under spiritual attack quite a bit, actually. And what wins in a spiritual attack? Like, this is your first line of defense, or rather your last line of defense. Do you understand that you are a being that has multiple levels, and if they're not integrated, you're not stable. You're not solid. You got to be solid. It's like your, let's say if somebody wanted to push you, but your body is misaligned. That's something I learned in Tai Chi, for instance, which is once again a philosophy, Taoism that you can see everywhere, reflected anywhere and everywhere, right? So in Taoism or in Tai Chi, if you have a stance that is unstable, that is not integrated, it's easy to push you around. So a little bit of energy will destabilize you. However, if you have a right stance, which is basically all of your limbs are in one line, they're integrated, your spine is standing in a certain way, is standing upright in a certain way, you become very, very stable. And somebody that pushes you cannot push you away. In fact, what's happening is the energy is being taken into the body and is being sent back to the person. That's why you see people when they deal with people that do Tai Chi, they try to push them and they fall back right away, because the person is so integrated within themselves that they become part of the energy system of the entire world and earth and universe, and that's why you can't break them. You see? So any energy sent at them is going back right away to the other person. Now, this is the physical part. Everything is integrated, you understand? Everything is integrated and harmonized. Everything relates to each other. Nothing is just random in the body. And therefore, you have stability. You're integrated, and it's impossible to break you. The same happens in the spirit and in the mind too. So if you want psychic protection, develop a fucking spine first. Develop honor and develop ethics. And you will have the same effect spiritually. I see so many people, I talk to them face to face, and the principle. You understand? That is the principle that you're using. Not to destroy anyone. That's not the point. You want to walk in peace, just like everybody else. But this world is constructed in a way where you will meet conflict. And it is a fact that most people are spineless rats. There's rats, cockroaches. That's what they are. Liars. Pathetic. And that's how you're supposed to live your life if you don't want to be one of them. Does it make sense? That's how you develop your ethical code, and that's how you live your life. It's not easy. Don't get me wrong, this is not easy. But it's worth it. Okay, and then a man should live his life like that. I'm a little bit old fashioned when it comes to that. Okay, I don't expect that from if I'm with a woman in my relationship. I don't even expect that from women that I'm with, because women are, generally speaking, women are way more dependent on validation from the outside world. They're way more about harmony in a group. Okay, so I expect the women that I'm with to betray me. I expect that. It is going to happen. If she sees weakness in me, if she sees a better deal somewhere else, or if she sees that I'm weakening, she's going to betray me. That's just a fact. That's going to happen. I know that. But that's what we deal with as men. And that's normal, because she's the test from the universe that we have to overcome. She's the reward for us being strong. She's the reward for us being able to deal with this opposition. You see? Even relationships, the dynamic between men and women is a spiritual process, you see? All of that. So I don't expect that from my women, absolutely, or from my woman. I don't. But that's my job, okay? That's my test. She has other tests. She has tests herself. I'm not saying it's easy to be a woman. Of course, there are tests, all kinds of tests. But my test is different, you see? So as a man, you need honor and a spine. That's it. Also, it would be kind of weird if you see all like, never mind. But that's lost, okay? That's lost. It's it's very rare to find people like that anymore. Yeah. Okay. Recently, I got into trouble outside of ritual. I got slightly whatever. Well, if you get in trouble after ritual, you probably shouldn't do it then. Okay. Diplomacy is essentially manipulation, and I think you're good at that. And you know how to communicate. As a fellow Libran, I know how it is. Okay. Hey, Frank, how will you handle it if a girl you're talking to really well stops talking to you all of a sudden? Um, how do you handle it if a girl you're talking to really well stops talking to you all of a sudden? Bro, I don't even understand what you're saying here. How will you handle it if a girl you're talking to really well stops talking to you all of a sudden? You mean that you tried to romance her and she didn't let it go there? Listen, um, if you romance a girl right, uh, basically, she stops talking to you. It just means that she. How do you handle it if a girl? Listen, scarcity, or I mean, abundance cures everything. Okay, so talk to more women. Talk to more women. Talk to more women. That's a solution, universal solution. Talk to more women. That's it. It's also good for your vibe. You know. Listen, words are just packages that transfer energy. Does that make sense? What you're actually transferring is energy, and you use a word as a package and send it over to the person. Let me demonstrate that to you. You motherfucker. You motherfucker. Right? It's the same word, different energy being transferred. Does that make sense? So when you communicate, pay attention to what energy you transfer. And you probably transferred the energy that, oh, you're so essentially what's incorrect. The most incorrect thing that you can do in game and seduction is essentially you communicate that her value is higher than yours. And that is communicated through energy. If you communicate that, you're out. Okay, because women are hypergamous. Generally speaking, hypergamous means they want guys at their level or higher. Okay, either at their level or higher. So if you're sub-communicating through your energy that her level is higher than yours, meaning she's so special, she's so great, she's, oh, I can't wait to be with you, blah, 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 or you came across as creepy, then uh, that's where you made the mistake. So you were communicating the wrong energy. Okay. And how do you not? What's creepy? Being creepy is basically something is too big of a deal. Okay, if you're, let's say you touch her and you make that a really big deal, that's creepy. Or you could get away with so many different things. You could touch her. You could even like slightly kiss her if you if you make it in a if you do it in a nonchalant way, everything's fine. Okay, or a lot of things are cool if you do it in a nonchalant way. But if you make it a big deal, that's creepy. Okay, and the best way to do that is to just have practice with women. I would say with the other gender. And but the most important thing is you have to realize that your energy is being transferred, which brings us back to the topic of this live stream. What was the title of this live stream? Handle your uh, subconscious energies. I think that was the title. So basically, your frequency is being transferred. Okay, just like what I'm doing here, man. Look, I mean, you're probably gonna remember 5% of what I was saying here. Okay, I've been on for 1.5 hours. After this live stream, you're gonna probably remember 10% of what I was saying. What I was saying here. Okay, but what you're gonna remember fully is the feeling that I left you with and the emotions that I triggered here. And what is the emotions? I was feeling something, and I was using words to express that, and that energy was being registered by your system, and you felt, okay, wow, wow, okay, I think I think I get it. I know what he's trying to say, right? So that's what I'm leaving you with, and that's really the value that you're getting out of here, which is basically a universal truth. Okay, you can any lecture is like that. You remember the feelings and the thoughts that you were left with. How do you blend sorcery with self-realization? Meaning, one is to form reality in the world, the other is to come to complete awareness. Sometimes they counter each other. No, actually, self-realization is a prerequisite to non-physical influence. The power, meaning the ability to influence things non-physically, is a result of an expanded state of consciousness. You see, so any magician by necessity is a mystic as well. Okay, so you have to expand your consciousness or do mystical practices in whatever way you can, and as a byproduct, then influence follows. You know, influence follows. So um, they're they work together. Okay, so first the realization, and then influence. Um, I have observed how many men fight and beef over women and get jealous. The fact that man will sleep with his friends' women, that's a feminine trait and dishonorable. That's turn off for me with a man. Yeah, um, I guess so. I connected well and deeply with a woman for almost 2 months, but then she stopped communicating because she's going through something. Yeah, that was probably just uh, whatever. That's what she said. Okay, that's what she said. She's going through something. That's new. I'm going through something. It's listen. Can't talk to you anymore. I'm going through something. Well, if a woman desires you, she will go through something to meet you. You know. So I'm not making fun of you here. Like it's not funny. I'm not trying to uh, like I'm not trying to make fun of you. That's not my intention. All I'm saying is that excuse is horseshit. Okay, just move on. Just move on. Find a new one. Okay. What is more powerful and depth of communication? Listen, look, I get it. Okay, everybody is like you develop like attachment and all that stuff, but I mean, who are you? Do you value yourself or not? Okay, you are the prize. That's how you think. Okay, that's the first thing, man. That's probably why she doesn't want to talk to you, because you don't see yourself as the prize. You see it as the prize to be acknowledged by a woman. Oh God, oh man, she likes me. Who gives a shit if she likes you? Okay, she should be glad to be in your presence. And I'm giving you the right frame right now. I'm giving you the right mindset to keep a woman, not to just get a woman, to keep a woman. Okay, the right mindset to get a woman, to keep a woman. And I promise you that's the case. Even though most women will deny that, they will, oh, no, that's an asshole. No, I want a man like that. I want a sensitive man. That's what they're going to tell you. Okay, bullshit. The right frame that you have to have is basically, hey, I'm the prize. I'm the prize. If you jump on my dick, bitch, your life will get better. That should be your frame. You don't say that. You don't have to say that. But it's basically, hey, I'm the prize. That's what it is. I'm the prize. And you're lucky to be with me. You're lucky that I'm sharing my time with you. And once again, that's all energy. It's all energy. You're polite. You don't insult anyone. You're nice. You're friendly. But your energy needs to communicate that. You see? And if you carry yourself like that, she will treat you like that. You set the standards, okay? But enough of this bullshit. What is more powerful, written spells, spoken spells, or mental spells? Uh, Look, all of these things are ways to move energy, okay? And you move the energies within yourself, but the energies within yourself are, they will affect the outside vibrations, if that makes sense, okay? So all of these things, ideally you put all of them into one ritual, because they're all just ways to move energy within yourself. Humans fight, spirits don't fight. Okay, whatever. What are your thoughts about traditional martial arts masters being beaten by MMA fighters, e.g., TKO? Well, first of all, there are there are traditional martial arts masters that cannot be beaten, and they can actually do things that they claim. Okay, just because you see a couple of those guys being beaten doesn't mean every martial artist or traditional martial artist is fake. Number two, um, admittedly, tai Chi and stuff like that, that might have its beginning in a martial art, but it's not really built for combat. It's not built for combat. It's more like an internal look. There are internal styles and external styles. An internal style is basically you work with your own energy. Okay, and for that they're great. I would never use Tai Chi in a fight. I would never do that. Okay, but I use that to work with my own energy and to move it through my body. Uh, any advice for working with or making deals with astral? Hold on. They want alpha dominant high value. Okay, whatever. Thank you for your advice, Frank. What can I do to book a consultation with you? Uh, Go to my page and book a consultation there. That's it. Go to my page and book a consultation. That's it. Um, all right. So how do we continue? Frank, what is the ideal mindset of the master magician in your own words? Well, I'm convinced that um, there is a right way to live your life and a wrong way to live your life. if you look at Zen, for instance, different Zen traditions, you can become enlightened by folding paper or serving tea, right? Or shooting arrows, archery. I believe you can use almost every activity for enlightenment. And in fact, you should, because I mean, if we assume that the universe is fractal and the universe is infinitely big, it means that the center of the universe is everywhere. So it might as well be inside of yourself, right? Right? If something is infinitely big, where's the center? It might as well be inside of you. So, and fractal means that the smallest part reflects the whole. So your consciousness, in some way or another, reflects eternity. So, in that sense, the mindset of a master magician is probably not that different from a master janitor. What I mean, what I'm trying to say is basically whatever you do, you can use it as a tool to grow spiritually. You can use it as a meditation. The goal that we have is to escape our perceptual prison. That's it. Once we break through the illusion of the senses, Maya, which is a Sanskrit word for illusion, once we break through this perceptual prison, we have a glimpse of what's real and we get a glimpse of our potential. True spirituality means that you're able to see that in everything, literally everything. You're able to find enlightenment in conflict. You're able to find enlightenment in bliss and harmony. You're able to find enlightenment in ugliness. You're able to find enlightenment everything and everywhere. Even in, look, the greatest pieces of art were inspired by suffering, weren't they? They are inspired by suffering. So everything is reflected in everything. So the greatest beauty is reflected in the most harsh moments that we go through, harsh times. Okay. So I know Eric was here. EA Quitting. A lot of you guys know him. He was on the live stream. He's going through a hard time right now. And all of you guys probably know that, right? But if he uses this time right, and I really wish you well, brother. I hope you use this time well, because this could make you so much stronger. Think about that. You could come out of this stronger. So the hardest phases that we go through, we can use to grow out of, right? I mean, like I said, suffering inspires the greatest masterpieces of art. So it really doesn't matter what discipline you use, whether it's magic, whether it's anything, it's more about a way of looking at the world, and I think any master in any art is going to do that. Okay. Now, you learn the techniques and then you're supposed to forget them, and they're supposed to become you. You're supposed to become an expression, a unique expression of that art. And that is really what a master does. So how can you express magic? How can you express magic in your own life? How can you act in a way that is your unique version of this whole thing? Stop being a copy. Stop being a copy. Find your own personal look. I said it so many times. Your connection to spirit is not found in a book. Okay. Now, there's nothing wrong with reading, but your ratio is off, way off, man. You're probably reading 80% and you're practicing 20%. You ought to commune with spirit, and I'm not saying spirits. I'm saying spirit as a whole, through meditation, through other mystical practices. That's 80%, 20% of study. And that's how you develop this. That's how you develop a connection, your own unique connection with the universe. Okay, this is not a religion. You're not supposed to be religious. Religious means one person knows Everybody just follows. That's not powerful. That's not strong. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to find your own personal connection. You find it here, you find it here, and you find it down there. Okay? You find it here, not in the brain, not in the mind. That's rational thought. It's not. There's no truth in the mind, okay? All right, so let's see. Let's see. Tomorrow. Tomorrow there's an uncrossing ritual, okay? That's actually why I wanted to do this live stream, but we got way off course, got a little bit distracted. Anyways, tomorrow is a live stream. Wasi, are you on? Can you put the link into the chat, please? For the uncrossing ritual. I'm gonna do an uncrossing ritual tomorrow. If you want to have energetic blocks removed from your path, you can take part in this. You're gonna have to sign a waiver. You're gonna have to be above 18 years old. And you're gonna have to sign up between noon PST tomorrow if you want to take part in this. Okay. All right. So let me post it myself. No, that's not the right one. Let's see. Grail of the Serpent. Okay, I'm not seeing that page. All right. Let's see. There you go. Okay, tomorrow I'm going to do a ritual at 4:30 p.m. PST. You have to sign up before noon PST. Before noon PST, in order to be part of this ritual. You're going to have to sign a waiver beforehand, and you have to be above 18 years old to be part of this ritual. It's an uncrossing ritual, okay? I'm going to remove energy blocks in your life. That's it. That's my offer. You can take part in this. And here's the link. I just posted the link in the chat if you want to learn about that. If I attend the last uncrossing ritual, do you still recommend I attend? I always do that. Well, if you feel like there are blocks in your life, yes, absolutely. There is no formula to art indeed. Always happy to hear your wisdom from you. I was taught that as a kid in Africa. Okay. Nice. How to reprogram your mind. If I buy it but can't attend, will it still work? Yes. I have a psychic link, so I can work on your energy without you being present. So yeah, you don't have to be there like in person, and you're gonna get access to a replay too. How do you reprogram your mind? Well, first of all, that's an ongoing process. It's not a one-time deal. Basically, what you do is man, you just observe yourself, and then you mold your subconscious into what you want it to be. First of all, what does that mean? We all have certain responses to the world, and it's a stimulus response mechanism. Okay, so stimulus from the outside world, which comes through your senses, and then you have internal unconscious or subconscious reactions to that. Okay, and that basically shapes and molds your reality, which is a subjective experience. You can readjust those filters. You can readjust the associations that you have in your mind, which constitute your experience. If you have a different association with something or about something, you're going to have a different internal experience. What you have to know about the mind is that it stores information in terms of associations. So you have a negative experience. Every detail of that negative experience that can be taken in through the senses is stored under that file. Let's say you have a file, negative experience, right? That file includes a photographic copy of that experience. Okay? So it's a negative experience. The natural impulse of humans is to move away from pain. Actually, everything that is alive has that same impulse. So you move away from pain and you move towards pleasure, right? A negative experience is pain. And so next time when you're in a situation where an association is triggered that you have stored here, the entire file is gonna be triggered. Does that make sense? So you were like, let's say you're a kid. You have a negative experience with this person that wears a red shirt. Next time, and that's for the rest of your life. Okay, as long as that experience is strong enough, for the rest of your life, you're gonna have negative emotions being triggered by red shirts. Now that's a very easy example here. Okay, but it actually goes very deep. Now, this is how the mind works. You also have negative and positive stored next to each other. Does that make sense? So when you think about something positive and something that you want to do, something that you want to accomplish, oftentimes the reason why you don't follow through with it is that your subconscious has negative memories triggered. And since 95% of your self is subconscious, it will determine that it's not worth going there because there's pain. Remember, you move away from pain, you move towards pleasure. I hope I'm making this clear. So the bottom line is this: you have to be able to go into your subconscious and rewrite the associations in your subconscious so that you associate things differently. Now, how do you do that? It's actually not that complicated. I mean, I just explained the mechanism, which might be a little bit more complicated, but it's very easy, man. You just write out hypnotic suggestions. You put yourself into a slight trance, and then you repeat the shit out of this suggestion until you start feeling different about that specific and particular thing. Okay. And you do that over and over and over again, and you design your subconscious in a way that you want. And how do you know that it's worked? Well, you respond different to those things. Okay. You respond different to certain things. I mean, there's a saying that, or not just a saying. I mean, we all have subconscious filters, and what's the word? We all respond to different things, if that makes sense. Okay, that's called a reticular activating system. Okay, so what you do is you change your reticular activating system. That's really what it is about. So a lot of people, when you say, let's say, what do you associate with, or what do you make your own? What do you identify with? You see, I mean, a lot of people, when I talk about, let's say, weak people, when I say pathetic, blah, 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 and all of that stuff, pathetic person, a lot of people feel like they're being told, or they're being talked to. Okay. Now, if a person feels being talked to, when I say these pathetic motherfuckers, blah, 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 it means that somewhere deep down they have the belief that they are a pathetic motherfucker. It's that simple. Let's say I speak of a genius, an incredible specimen, a unique, you know, bounds to rule the universe or something like that, right? So if you feel like, oh, yeah, yeah, that sounds like he's talking to me, then you have that association. That would be your, like, as an extreme, that would be what you subconsciously believe of yourself. Now, obviously, you shouldn't make your uh, you should become narcissistic and make your self-image like crazy. Like that's just weird because first of all, reality is going to show you that it's not like that, and it's just not useful. It's just as unrealistic and useless as having a self-image that is completely like distorted and negative. Okay, so what you want is you want to have a positive self-image, and you want to be able to rearrange those associations so that you can overcome the challenges that you have in life. Okay, so before you can actually do something in the world, you actually have to first believe that you can do it. Let me give you an example. I'm talking to random people from all over the world. Okay, right now at this moment there are 49 people. I'm not saying that that's a lot. Definitely not saying that's a lot. And I could do way more if I wasn't shadow banned because I cuss a lot and and obviously pissed off some people. And to be honest, I'm not putting that much effort and energy into my YouTube channel. But that given, there's still 49 people that are asking me questions and are listening to me, right? If I had the subconscious belief that my thoughts are not worth it and whatever, nobody wants to hear me, and then nobody is interested in my message, that this wouldn't happen. I wouldn't even do this live stream. I wouldn't talk. You see what I mean? So it's all about that. What you believe comes first. You have to work on your inside first, and then the outside is going to reflect that. It's that simple. Okay, and you do that through self-hypnosis. That's one method, and there are many others, man. All right. What type of vegetables do you usually eat, and what usually go into your salads? Are you serious right now? It's a vegetable. Tomatoes. I love tomatoes. That's with almost every meal I eat tomatoes. Yeah. Yeah. And I read somewhere that uh, men that like tomatoes are bad and are bad when it comes in the bedroom. They underperform in the bedroom. That's why I read somewhere. But I mean, you can't have everything, man. You can't have a large or you can't have a big dick and also be good when good and bad, right? You can't have everything. Anyways, other topic. Okay, Frank, if I may, can you suggest a nautical book that helped you grow spiritually? Um, can you suggest a non-occult book that helped you grow spiritually? I always come back with the same ones. The Art of War, the Art of War. A lot of Stoic stuff, Stoicism. I know it's very on vogue right now, but I've been reading Stoicism when I was 19 years old, stuff like that. Stoicism. They really impressed me. There are so many, man. It's like, do you know the feeling when you're in front of Google and you can type in anything that you want? It's like, man, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. There are so many things that are coming up, but those two shall be it. Um, do you believe if you change your mind, you change? Yeah, I do believe that. All right. Should I ignore heavy voices on psychedelics? Or are they? Please don't ask me about psychedelics, bro. Please. I'm not going to talk about that. Um, Thank you for the response. That was good. I received it. It's good. Awesome. Okay, guys. I'm gonna do 10 more minutes, and then I'm gonna wrap this up. More than 2 hours. Frank, what method of banishing do you use? Oh man. What method of banishing do I use? I mean, there are a couple of rituals that you can use, or I use. I mean, depends. I mean, in the beginning, it was always the lesser banishing ritual, the pentagram. Then it shifted. I stopped doing it, or I was doing it less, less, less. Then there's IAU formula. Then there's hmm, I mean, maybe just put a light around you. You can use salt. You can use. I mean, there are certain Buddhist entities that can call upon, and they work through you to banish the environment. You know, there's so many different things that you can do. Okay, but for a beginner, what do I recommend? For a beginner, I recommend me as a beginner. I was taught the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram as the first banishing. Now, be aware though that you're calling entities into your life. Okay, you're calling the watchtowers as you're doing that. Just saying. You know. Now, if you want a banishing without any entities attached to it, maybe learn the IAO formula. Um, how do you know so much? You are very book smart and know a lot of terms for things. If you spend a large amount of your teens and 20s and 30s, I'm 37 by now, uh, studying and learning about specific fields, might sound like, listen, I mean, there are people that are way more book smart than me when it comes to like everything. Come on. I'm not saying I don't. It's probably above average what I know, but I'm definitely not the book smartest person on this planet. Come on, like, is it really that impressive? Come on. What I'm very good at is I'm very good at connecting different fields and applying things. I'm very good at connecting different levels of knowledge. That's what I'm very good at. So I'm very good at applying and practical application of that stuff. But I'm not an armchair occultist. I mean, there are armchair occultists that they sound phenomenal, man. They know everything, man. They know like what has been written by Blavatsky in 1904 while she was sitting on the toilet or something like that. They know everything. But at the same time, they wouldn't dare practice magic because it's all theory. So you need a balance. You see, you need 80% of practice, 20% of theory. You mentioned the 1 meal a day diet. So I did it for a month and actually felt very good and became more sensitive to energies and better in meditation as well. Yeah, and you probably lost a shitload of weight, right? Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I mean, look, your stomach is your first brain. It's really, really important for your subconscious and nervous system and all that stuff, right? So um if you can give it a rest, you can focus on other things. I love listening to your wisdom. I work ritual magic. When I fast, I simply eat biological food, peanuts, and water. It works wonders. Thanks. All right. Uh, yeah, guys, if you just a tip, if you request access, if you send me friends requests or request access to my groups and stuff like that, at least have a fucking face on there, okay? Very cautious. I'm very cautious who I let into these groups, okay? So, like, it's a sign of respect. How would you feel if some fucking stranger, some random person, just sends you a friend's request and you see that they don't even put on their real face? That's weird, isn't it? Like, what do you have to hide, bro? Uh, okay. Can doing self Reiki often make you more psychic? Yes, it can. Frank, it's still been hard to quit meat, but is fish good or bad for that too? Like tuna or salmon? All pretty heavy stuff, in my opinion. Yeah, fish is meat too. Yeah, I don't like losing weight. It's so hard to gain back. It's too hard to gain back. Okay. Are we supposed to ground ourselves after meditation? It depends on what meditation you do. There are certain meditations uh, that can require that because they remove you so far uh, from your current awareness, but others don't require that. So it really depends, man. It really depends. Frank, I know that magic exists as long as humans exist. In your own knowledge, what is the most ancient magical system known? The most ancient magical system is the most ancient magical system. Look, I don't. I think as soon as something becomes systemized, it's probably not that ancient anymore. Because this is a lot of assuming here. Okay, there's a lot of assumptions that I'm going to give you, but the assumption is that sometime during our development, people realized that they could affect the illusion or the Maya through consciousness, and then it the rituals got turned into a religious ceremony until the ceremony was conflicted and mistaken for the actual ritual. And that's the beginning of religion. Okay. So honestly, I don't know which one is the most ancient. I don't know. See, ancient is not always better. If that's your suspicion here, that's older is not always better. It really isn't. I would eat a tomato whole if I wanted to. Thanks for this constructive uh, comment. After transcendental meditation, should we ground? No, not necessary. All right. All right, good. Okay, I hope you got something out of this. I'm gonna post the link one more time because sign up for the uncrossing ritual. It's gonna take place tomorrow. You don't have to be there live. I'm still gonna be able to do it with a psychic link. And what do you use to get big? I've been lifting weights a lot, bro. Well, big. I mean, you gotta be in a caloric surplus, obviously, and you gotta you gotta lift heavy weights, and then you keep lifting heavy weights, but you go into a caloric deficit, and that's how you look big. I mean, the leaner you are, the bigger you're gonna look. I'm not lean at all right now. I'm like I think 19% body fat or so. Like I'm gonna get way leaner. I want to get down to 10%, which is gonna be tough, but yeah, I'm aiming for that. But you can maintain muscle while you lean out, and you do that while you keep lifting heavy. Okay, so in the beginning you got to bulk. Bulking means you're in a caloric surplus. Do it clean, don't do a dirty bulk. Okay, so you lift heavy, hypertrophy, hypertrophy, which basically just means you kill your muscles, or like you lift until it hurts. That's basically what you do. And then it recovers and it builds back bigger, and you do that for a couple months while you're in a caloric surplus. And while you're doing that, the muscles are going to grow, but you're also going to grow fat. And then you cut the fat by being in a caloric deficit, but you keep the lifting up. So the muscles don't go away. Okay, the muscles stay there, but at the same time you lose fat. Been a while since I had a six pack, but I'm going for that again. So yeah. Any luck with Nuari Grumpier? Noir, is that woman that you suggested last time? Um, I'm not gonna try. Okay, that's not somebody I would want to pursue. Thank you, Frank. What do you teach is the total package, bro. You ain't even seen my package yet. Thank you, Frank. I love you. That was kind of gay, bro. You haven't even seen my package yet. You get what I'm saying, man. This ain't nothing, man. What the fuck? This ain't nothing. Let me pop my color. This ain't nothing. This ain't nothing, man. This ain't nothing. Just keep following the grail of the serpent, and I will take you and show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Okay? This ain't nothing. You're only scratching the surface. Once again, you guys need to be on the uncrossing ritual. If you want to improve your life, if you want to go into the next year with better energy, be be on the uncrossing ritual. The link was posted there. Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Be well. Peace. Bye bye.